こんにちは、岡田先生です。今日は8課の文法の勉強をしましょう。ノートを取ってください。最初に、ちょっと復習をします。日本語1で、この、その、これ、それ、あれを勉強しましたね。Question words どれ and どの。これ、それ、あれ this, that, that over there. この、その、this, that, that over there. Except この、その, and is used as a marker modifier for nouns. So この、その, is like this book, that book over there. これ、それ、あれ is this thing, that thing over there. So これそれあれ you don't really need a noun to it to point out this, that over there. However, このそのyou need to have a noun. こんなに、そんなに、あんなにが新しいです。So you would think こんな、そんな、あんな really just is a more informal version of これそれあれ. However, it's a little bit more than that. When you use こんなに, it emphasizes an extreme extent of something. So let me explain with examples. I think it would make more sense than me just telling it's an extreme example of this or that. So, for example, 例にこんなに面白い映画を見たことがありません. If I were to say この面白い映画を見たことがありません, it would be I haven't seen this fun or funny movie. If I say こんなに面白い映画を見たことがありません, I haven't seen such a funny movie ever before. Okay, so こんなに面白い映画を見たことがありません. It accentuates how funny something is. This movie that's so funny. I've never seen such a funny movie before. あんなに高い山を登ってみたいと思いません. I don't think of, or I've never thought of wanting to climb that big of a mountain or that high of a mountain. あんなに高い山を登ってみたいと思いません。そのケーキ、そんなに美味しいんですか? In this case, I would say, that cake, is it that good? そんなに美味しいんですか? Right? インさんの本ってそんなに面白いんですか? Is Insan's book that interesting or that funny? 来週の試験ってどんなに難しいんでしょうか? That case, right? Next week's test, is it that hard? So in that case, it's using that. Donna becomes the question word form. However, it's more like a generic this, that over there. Yeah. どんなに多くの漢字が載っているんでしょうか? I wonder how many kanji, to what extent of kanji is on the test. Right? So, こんなに、そんなに、あんなに、どんなに is talking about something to an extreme extent or a more of a higher degree of extent. So much, so many, etc. All right. So the next one is okage de or seide. This is basically giving the cause of something kind of in a way that we use tameni, except it's a little bit different because tameni would be for the sake of. In this case, okage de seide is because of, is due to something, and you would have the effect at the end, obviously, in the sentence, just like always, because Nihongo likes to put things in logical order. Put the cause in the beginning and the effect at the end. So, reini haha no, and there's a difference between using okage de and seide, And I will explain that when I give you the examples. 母のおかげで好きな車を買えました。Thanks to my mother, or due to my mother, or because of my mother, I was able to buy the car that I liked. 母のおかげで好きな車を買えました。If I were to say 母のせいで好きな車を買えませんでした、it would mean because of my mother, or thanks to my mother, or due to my mother, I wasn't able to buy the car that I wanted because maybe she kept me from doing it. So you'll notice that okagede is used with positive results and seide is used with negative results. So 日本語が話せるおかげで日本食レストランでアルバイトができます。Thanks to the fact that I can speak Japanese, I can work part-time at a Japanese restaurant. 今朝、弟のせいで遅刻して Thanks to my younger brother, this morning I became late. So when I have a negative effect and I want to give fault to someone or something else, I'm going to use seide. But if I want to praise them for something that is positive that has been affected, then I will use okage de. But in English, we would just say like, oh, because of so-and-so, or because of this, or thanks to this. It could be a negative or positive effect. But in Nihongo, by saying okage de, we know that it is thanks to, or giving thanks to something that has happened with a positive effect, versus seide, which would be thanks to in a negative way, something has occurred. Dochiramo. We've done this before. We practiced this with ryoho. Ryoho is both, and dochiramo you've learned before as neither. Now, what you can do, that dochiramo can mean either or both, and dochiramo can mean neither. And it really depends on how you use it, positively or negatively at the end. So I have given you an example that uses both. So 犬も猫もどちらも可愛いと思います。Dogs and cats. I think both are cute. 犬も猫もどちらも可愛いと思いません。Dogs and cats. I don't think that either are cute. So neither are cute. So you can either use it どちらも with a positive end, which would make it both, or どちらも with a negative ending, which would make it negative. ケーキもクッキーもどちらも好きですが、今日はどちらも食べません。I like both cake and cookies, but today I will eat neither. All right, so I foreshadowed this in last unit, but this is a review of yo desu. And it does review fukushu rashi desu, so desu, mitai desu. We've done this in past years. Remember that it is used to describe things. It is seems like, or looks like, or is like something else. And yodes is exactly the same thing. It's just a different way to use it. It's just different way of saying something is like something else. And in this case, it's always going to be used with meishi no yo and then the other part. So if you say meishi no yo desu, someone is like a noun, versus meishi no yo na meishi desu, then it's again a modifying noun. So he's a cat-like person, neko no yo na hito desu. And if I say meishi no yo ni doshi, obviously I'm using it as an adverb. So I'm modifying a verb. I'm running like a cat, neko no yo ni hashirimasu. And if I want to say meishi no yo ni keiyoshi desu, that would be someone is behaving or is similar in that way. So for example, he's quiet like a mouse. So nezumi no yo ni shizuka desu. So I've got some examples to review the らしいです、そうです、みたいです underneath. あの人は頭が良いらしいです。Apparently, he seems to be that is smart. あの人は頭が良いらしいです。And remember, that is more of I heard that. あの人は頭が良いそうです。Again, I heard that. He's smart. Versus 頭が良さそうです means he looks smart. あの人は頭が良いみたいです。He seems that he's smart, like the way he looks. And then あの人は頭が良いようです. And exactly the same. It just means that he seems like, or he looks like, or he is seemingly smart. And we have obviously used that in those ways. Just remember that らしいです and そうです unless you use the minus e and then そうです but anyway, if you use らしいです そうです it's more like you heard something as being that way versus みたいです is like it looks like it's that way, and ようです is again it very much is from my preview, my knowledge of it, and in comparison with everything else that's around, I can definitively tell you that it's like that. And that is a case that you use for no yo desu. You're a little bit more sure. So if you want to go from extent of not knowing anything about it and hearing about it to you yourself know for sure, this is very much the process. So this unit does a lot of fukushu. Since it is the last unit, it's just going to throw all the fukushu bunpo that it possibly can. So this one goes over shi, go over shi. Remember, it's like ya. It's things such as, it's giving a list of things, making a conjunction of all of the activities or adjectives or whatever it might be in order to, or nouns, in order to give a fuller extent of a descriptor. That's what you use she with. She for. We have noun modifiers. We have extensively covered noun modifiers for the last 2 years. So hopefully at this point, you know how to do noun modifiers. This unit also goes over agemasu, yarimasu, kuremasu, moraimasu. The giving and receiving, go through your notes for that. And of course, particles. I went over it last unit, so I don't feel like I need to go over it here. And then, of course, one of the very first things you learned in Nihongo ni, along with learning the jisho form doshi, was to change it into a noun or nominalizing the verb, making a verb into a noun. You just use jisho form plus koto or jisho form no wa. That makes it into a mishi. And that is about it for this unit and this year's J3 textbook. Make sure you ask questions.